here we go from the national headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. Do you know what a dud is? A dud. It's one of those words that I often use with my kids, and they laugh at me for using what they call old people language. They laugh when I use words like get your comeuppance when you've behaved badly, or watering hole, which is a bar, lounge, or in this case, dud. Dud. A dud is essentially something that doesn't work as well as it was expected to. It was actually first used as an example of onomatopoeia, a word that sounds like the sound that it makes, like bang, right? But dud is a word that describes the opposite of bang. It's a bomb that doesn't ignite. That's what a dud is, right? It doesn't go off. So it sounds like this. Dud. No excitement, right? It's a dud. I start our newscast that way today because if there's ever been a perfect time to use that word in a news story, today. Today, yep. And it's about this story, the long-anticipated special counsel report, the Mueller probe. It was so hyped, right? We were all so primed, so fed so much red meat for 2 years. How could we not be excited to finally hear it? We were told that this thing would be the definitive case against Donald Trump and the Russians, and how they colluded to steal an American election. By golly, those guys. What we got instead was, this morning, well, a dud.
The special counsel's report did not find any evidence that members of the Trump campaign or anyone associated with the campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in these hacking operations. In other words, there was no evidence of the Trump campaign collusion with the Russian government's hacking.
Okay, got it. No collusion. Marked it down, no collusion. Got it. But certainly there had to be some kind of ties between Trump's people and the Russians, even if they weren't the actual Russian government, right? What about people who may have been connected then to the Russian government?
Finally, the special counsel investigated a number of links or contacts between the Trump campaign officials and individuals connected with the Russian government during the 2016 presidential campaign. After reviewing these contacts, the special counsel did not find any conspiracy to violate U.S. law involving Russian-linked persons and any persons associated with the Trump campaign.
But they go on to say still they think the Russians may have interfered somehow. And we're going to have a deep dive into that in just a little bit that I think you're going to enjoy. The whole business of did Russia interfere in elections, and how novel, how unique would that be? Then there's the important question of why the Attorney General, our nation's top prosecutor, took it upon himself to announce these findings, man, that seemed to contradict what most reporters were expecting to hear. And they sound mad. Listen.
Why did you and Mr. Rosenstein feel the need you had to take it to the next step to conclude that there was no crime, especially given that DOJ policy?
Well, the very prosecutorial function and all our powers as prosecutors, including the power to convene grand juries and the compulsory process that's involved there, is for one purpose and one purpose only. It's determine yes or no. Was alleged conduct criminal or not criminal? That is our responsibility, and that's why we have the tools we have. And we don't go through this process just to collect information and throw it out to the public. We collect this information, we use that compulsory process for the purpose of making that decision. And because the special counsel did not make that decision, we felt the department had to, and that was a decision by me and the Deputy Attorney General.
That's important, what he just said. That's important. Did you hear it? He's absolutely right, by the way. In our particular system of American jurisprudence, you're either indicting somebody after you investigate them, charging them after you investigate them, or not. It's either yes or no. It's not meant to investigate somebody so you could find everything he's done in his whole life, find all his dirty laundry, and then throw it out so everybody can see it. It's meant to find whether a law has been broken, whether a law has been violated. He's right on that point. Whether you like this guy, Bill Barr, or not, he's right. And when it comes to Russia and collusion, they found there wasn't a crime. End of story, right? However, and unfortunately for the President of the United States, there are still other probes that have nothing to do with Russia, for which Mr. Trump is currently being investigated. 14 of them. 14. Fraud, taxes, insurance pricing manipulations, charity misappropriations, campaign finance issues involving payoffs to women, even an investigation into the millions of dollars that somehow disappeared after the presidential inauguration. Now, all of those are still going on, and we're not going to judge them or comment on them until we have a report, which is what we're supposed to do, right? And of course, we will follow them wherever they may lead. This is The News with Rick Sanchez, where we really do believe it's time to do news again. I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on YouTube, and that's awesome. But you know what? I'm also live every night at 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern on DirecTV and Dish and cable and satellite, the RT app, and Pluto TV. I'll see you there.